Hey, I thought that I would do a video from a little different place on my walk. I don't often get all the way out here anymore, but I thought I'd share. This is obviously right where there's a road, but there's kind of within that tree line in the back, there's a river. A little river, the one that I've shown in some of my other videos, and this is like a wetlands kind of watershedy area, and they're preserving it to allow it to, I don't know, go back to how it should be naturally or something. I don't know. There's something about that that's really interesting. Same with my work of renaturing. When we decide that we're going to rewild or allow land to go back to the way it was, what are we going to? Like, what is this ideal time when things were wild? You know, in the US, we have these ideals of, you know, pre-colonialism, and in actuality, the whole, I don't know enough about South America, but the whole of North America was tended by the indigenous people who lived here. And so we came and we changed that dramatically with our Western ideas of what tame land is, but they had their own indigenous folks, and it certainly looked completely different from what we do now. But if we were to just let everything sit and not touch it, it would not look like before Europeans came to North America. It would look something completely different, and the climate has changed enough that it would never look like that again. And so this idea that this area is being like reestablished is fascinating. I don't disagree. Don't get me wrong. Like, look at the red. I don't disagree that we shouldn't, we should have our hands off, but I definitely see this. I have curiosity about this ideal that we think we have. And the Western European folks don't have, we have no idea how to husband or wife, I don't know, land the way that indigenous populations do and did. And so there can't be an ideal there. And then if we bring it back to my work of renaturing, this is why it's self-led, I think. I talk about kind of going back and finding your true nature. And sure, absolutely, we can dig through and find who we think we might have been without all of the pressures. But the thing is, we had all those pressures. And so the human that I am becoming, doing my own work of renaturing and all of that it means. Look at this. Isn't this beautiful? I just love coming through here. The work that I'm doing of renaturing and all of the various ways that I'm working on that incorporates my entire history, trauma history, all of the things that I wish didn't happen to me, or at least I wished at the time. Now that I'm past them and still here, still kicking and working my butt off to resolve the stuff, those things all are part of who I am. So renaturing at its very core is about reassembling the me, because all the way through life I have picked myself apart. I have decided, I'm going to pretend that never happened. This part gets, or this memory, this training, this personality trait, this whatever is deeply, it doesn't work. It doesn't work for me around the people who I'm with. And maybe that's because we figured out that we need to be in a group and we need to change ourselves so that we can survive in that group. Maybe the group that we were born into, or the group that we default landed in, or the group that we originally chose or subsequently chose, makes us or asks us to hide the pieces of ourselves that are the most important, or even not even the most important, but to have yourself be denatured, pulled apart, and to allow that to happen, to do it to yourself, feels to me like the ultimate, I don't know, it's hard to find, betrayal of self. And it's betrayal from potentially our original group, from our de facto groups, right? They also betray us by asking us to not be who we are. But we also betray ourselves by second guessing and thinking that these people that we think we love, or know we don't love, or want to love us, will not love us if they see specific things about us. And this is actually it touches a little bit on, I have a little warbler up in a tree keeping pace with me right now, and it's adorable. This touches on why I am not, I have not trained in any of the parts work, like internal family systems. I think because I don't want to spend time, like prolonged, protracted time, giving credence to the separation, to the denatured bits. We all work with parts, like that's the deal. Like, how old is that? How old do you feel right now? Okay, we're working with, the child that you were when you were 3 or whatever. Sure, absolutely. And we do it for a session. We do it for a few weeks at the most, right? And then we honor the whole. Like, we just keep, as far as I'm concerned, we keep bringing it back to the whole. Each of those parts, if you want to call them that, like, we may not want them. It doesn't help to, that's part of the betrayal, right? Like, they're there for a reason. And I know that I'm sounding very like people who do parts work. And I'm not, like I said, I haven't studied it, and perhaps I should study it so that I can have better, I can say this better. but for me it's just a feeling, and there are so many other things that I want to train in that I don't have the time, the energy, the bandwidth to do something so that I'm more educated when I talk about it. I just don't. So instead, I poo-poo it as if, like the ignorant person I am. But I also am aware that that's what I'm doing. But this idea of restoring to some mythical ideal, we're not restoring, we're not renaturing ourselves to the moment of birth, and maybe it should be before that, the moment of conception, or maybe it should be I don't know, now. I'm renaturing myself to now, and now, because I am better now than I ever was, I think ever, and that's through a lot of work. But I feel that even when somebody let me see if I can get through here without blocking the view. Oh, car coming. I'm going to do this so you can't see any license plates, because that's just ridiculous. If you are watching this, if you are reading stuff about doing restorative work on yourself, if you are thinking about it at all, you're in a different place. You're in a more conscious, aware place than you ever were. This is an old cornfield, by the way, in case you're wondering. Every year they plant corn and put in all the fertilizer and stuff, because every year they plant corn and the ground is utterly sterile, practically, of anything that would actually grow corn, so they have to put in all the things that the corn needs in order to create its stalks and its everything. And then they cut it down, and then they leave it like this. I like this better. Along here there's a whole ton of little birds. There's a thriving community of animals, plants, and critters. So anyway, renaturing to when? ReWilding, restoring ecosystems to when? I don't have an answer. I only have lots of questions. And now I'm looking into the light, so I'm also squinting. But what are your answers to these questions? What do you want to restore, nature to? What do you want to restore yourself to?